Have you ever wondered if it's possible to beat the level 120 shadow training enemies on auto repeat? Well, it definitely is, and it definitely helps the higher level you are. But even if you're just like, you got to be high level, okay? I'm not gonna cut around, beat around the bush. You have to be high level. It would help a lot if you level 100 pets and everything. But even with that, it's still gonna be pretty tough to beat that. With on auto repeat, but it's doable. If you're actually LB20 and stuff, then maybe you'll find other ways to do this. But if you're just recently hitting the late game and you're not fully maxed out on everybody, I've got a strategy that works. This is gonna be the most complicated one out of all of these videos I've made on how to do stuff on this game. So be ready for this one. This one's complicated. So what happens is you need attacks that hit all enemies. But the problem is there's some weird mechanic in the game where when you attack all enemies, it does more damage to each enemy depending on how many enemies are left. So if there are 5 enemies and you do 1,000 damage to each of those enemies, they'll each take 5,000, even though it says 1,000. I don't know if it's a bug or it's intentional. But because of that, there's a trick you can do where you have to purposefully get the first slotted character to be strong, but not strong enough to knock out the weak enemies on the shadow training enemies, boss, whatever, king rabbit, shadow rabbit, whatever. And then follow up that person with the strongest person you have. And I would highly, highly recommend Shizu. She is basically an Easter egg in this game. She's like literally different than all the other units. She's not even the same as everyone else. She at max level has 14 HP. But as you can see, she has, with all my buffs, at least 5,000 attack. And she does an attack, all enemies attack, okay? So for the first wave, as long as the first person can weaken them all without killing or taking down too many of the weak ones and leaving some of them, then this person can follow up and still get the bonus damage because they're still alive and be able to knock out the boss enemy then. And between these two attacking, you will be down at the first wave already most of the time. Unless this person gets a bunch of crits. If this person gets a bunch of crits, she may knock out too many of the little ones. And then, that round you may not win. And then as security, in case it's close, like something like that happens, but the boss rabbit guy still has some HP left, but he's almost gone, then I have this person third. And this person just does a power strike on attacking just one enemy, okay? And that will either finish off the rabbit guy from the first wave, hopefully, or it will weaken him on the next wave, which will make it easier to take him out on the next wave. And so say things go well, these two will take out the first wave. This one will weaken the big one on the second wave, because there's only one of Shizu. If there were 2 Shizu, it'd be a lot easier, but she's the only one like her, so. But she weakens them, and then you have 2 people that hit for really hard, hit all enemies. You want to have 2 follow up after her to take out the second wave. And also, again, you want the stronger one to attack second. You want to make sure the first one does not finish too many, if preferably none, of the smaller, weaker enemies. So that way this person can come in and do the full damage and actually finish off the wave. But there's a trick you can do here, and this is very, very complicated. So you're going to have to pay attention to this one. This is very complicated. If you manage this just right with your MP, none of these people have buffs to MP. Nobody restores MP. This person uses 15. This one uses 20. This one uses 10. This one 15. This is 20. And so what happens is when this person's done, we're at 23 MP, which makes it so if you need 25 MP to attack, the auto attacking will not attack until you hit 25 because it can't. So that gives enough time for one person, which will be Nia, or your first slot person, to attack the whatever's left. And the MP will go to 25 right after one attack. That's just how the timing works out for this. So that will make you even more likely to finish off the second wave. And if you can finish off the second wave after your what is it, 5th character's attack. Then you'll go to the 3rd wave, and then you'll have 25 MP, or if everything went well, this first person will attack, and then you'll tick over to 25 MP, which will let you use these last 2. You have to make sure that the last 2 characters use 25 MP or more for their attacks, and the first one has to be someone who has MP all strike. So that way, even though you're out of MP, and you just have enough for this guy, he will attack, and then he'll still have MP, and then the last one can also attack. And you also want these last 2 to just be as strong as you can find out of all the units that you have that can do this kind of thing and can match up with the MP. There's not a lot of choices. If you want to go with the exact units I have, this will work. Nia, Shizu, I don't even know how to say her name, Vile Blood Ryan, Uni, Corrupted Vieren, and Shadow Maguna, okay? Then also, of course, for your party, you're going to want max attack, and you're going to want any one of these people who has... you just might as well just level up everything. At this point in the game, you have to be late game to beat the Shadow Training, okay? There's no way to get around it. You just have to. So, with this, though, and I don't even have max level pets. I have, like, level 80 pets and stuff, and the legendaries aren't even, like, maybe level 60 and stuff. And these people are only, like, what is this? LB 8, LB 6, LB 5, LB 3, LB 9, LB 3, and LB 5. And even with this, most of the battles, they will win against the Shadow Training. So, let me just go ahead and show you. Shadow Training, level 120, and, maybe I'll get unlucky on a video, and the first one will just lose, but, I can just put this on auto repeat. First person attacks, second one attacks, wave's done. Okay? Now things go well, should be this person attacks, weakens it. Person attacks, doesn't finish too much, that person attacks, the wave's done. Alright, perfect. Okay, this person attacks, and then everyone's attack, and the wave's done. And there you go. Now you can just auto repeat it, which is the Shadow Training level 120 gives more gold than any other battle that you can do. Hands down, more gold and more gems per battle, at least, than anything else that you can do right now in the game. There are a lot of features coming soon, as labeled in the game, but they're not out yet. But at the time, this is the best way to farm gold and gems. But yeah, as you can see, I already won 2. I mean, every now and then you'll get a weird way with crits and things, and then you won't be able to get through it right. But most of the time, it's good enough. So, and also with Maguna on that last slot, she's a good one there because I can just grind her boss battle, and then I'll be able to get her to LB 20, and that'll make it even more likely to just go through these easily because even if it works out to where the person before her has to attack to finish the second wave, she'll be so strong at LB 20 that she'll be able to weaken the last wave enough that we still can finish off. And you see, here's an unlucky one. I think somebody crit something, and then the person couldn't get a bonus damage, and then we fell behind and whatever. So every now and then they lose one because of hitting crits is actually bad, as funny as that is. Like right there it was. You can see it in the background. The first person hit crits on everything. Knocked out all the weak ones, and then because of that, Shizu didn't get the bonus damage on the King Rabbit. And because of that, we had to use all of our abilities because no one else could get the bonus damage either. And so then it just took all of our abilities in order to take out the King Rabbit. But most of the time, it works out. It works out probably 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5 times. Even if there's just 1 or 2 left, Shizu can still finish. Especially if you can get Shizu to LB 20 someday, then this is like guaranteed. She can just, I mean, she'll hit so hard, it'll be unbelievable. So, yeah. And if you get too high level, you might actually want to swap the first person out for someone who's actually got less attack than her with the same ability, because you don't want her finishing. Like there, she's finishing again. I'm actually probably gonna have to swap her out soon because I found so many duplicates of her recently in the gacha pulls that she's getting too strong now. So I'm probably gonna have to swap her for a weaker unit in slot 1. But yeah, so this is how you can beat the level 120 Shadow Training on auto repeat. And this is a good base for you to work on. If you think of any way to change this, or characters to change, or ways to change it, that give you better results, by all means, feel free to change it, and feel free to even comment about it and tell about the changes that you found. Even like this, I gotta swap out that first person. She's become too strong. She keeps critting and then just knocking out the first wave's weaklings, and then we just can't get the second wave. So it's actually decreasing the percentage chance that I will actually beat the whole wave and then lose the whole thing. So, but here we got a good one in the back. We're winning this one easy. Yeah. So yeah, there you have it. If you're, confused on how to beat the level 120 Shadow Training, now you have a good place to work from. And like I said, feel free to research and experiment and change things and see if you can find a way to optimize it even more. But this strategy is pretty solid. This should work.